Hello everyone, this is Fabian from Noises Academy. In this session, I would like to share on some things that students can expect for the CFA Level 1 exam day, which is happening this Saturday, 2nd December 2017. Now, on the exam day, it's best to arrive early before 8:30. If not, they will close the door. But of course, if you reach at 8:30 and then they close the door, all you have to do is just wait until 9 o'clock and the proctors will open the door again. But of course, if you arrive 30 minutes past the start of the session, you will not be admitted to the exam, and therefore you will fail the whole exam, because you will need to actually take both sessions in order to be graded. Now, what are the things that you must bring? Of course, you need your passport, which has to be valid at the time of the exam. You will need your exam admission ticket, which you must print on a new piece of paper, strictly reminding everyone not to print on recycled or reused paper. And you should also not write anything on the exam ticket. Now, you will also need your approved calculator, which can either be a Texas BA2 instrument, Texas Instrument BA2 Plus or Professional, or you could be using a HP12C. And of course, you will need your writing instruments, which can either be a 2B or HB pencils. Mechanical pencils can also be used, but you must use a proper lead. It should either be a 2B lead or a HB lead. Of course, you will need your eraser, and the cover has to be taken off as well. Now, for those bringing your own bag or backpacks, there will be an area for you to keep your personal belongings, but do be careful not to bring any valuable items. And of course, in the exam, in terms of tracking the time, there will be a clock normally that is viewable by everyone. But if they do not have any clocks, then the proctors will announce the time at certain intervals. Now, there are other things that you can bring, like sharpener for your pencil. Or of course, you could bring a bunch of pencils, then you don't have to bring a sharpener. Now, if you're worried that your batteries will run out, you can bring some spare batteries. And of course, you will need a screwdriver to open up the battery cover. You can bring earplugs if you are easily annoyed by noises. Okay, you can bring your own wristwatch, but of course, smartwatches are prohibited. For wristwatch, you can bring a digital or analog watch. Now, these items can be kept on your desk at all times. Now, of course, there are other things that you can also bring, but you must keep it under your chair or in your pockets. These things are like your wallet or your purse. You can bring things like your medicine that you require, and you can bring tissues as well. You can even bring gums or hard candy or cough drops, and also your keys. Now, it's important to keep in mind that food and drinks are not allowed. Water is provided in the exam hall. Okay, you can't bring your study materials. None of your notes and papers and textbooks can go in. You can't bring your own scratch paper as well. No formula sheet, no present value table. These are all prohibited. You can't bring rulers, correction tape, highlighters. Okay, of course, your mobile phones are not to be brought into the exam hall as well. It has to be kept in your bag. Now, of course, during the exam, a very, very important thing is to listen to the head proctor's instructions. When do you open the exam book? When do you sign the candidate pledge? And of course, if you need to drink water or go to the washroom, just raise your hand, let the proctor know. Then they will allow you to leave your table momentarily. Now, of course, during the exam, don't give the appearance of cheating. Don't look around. Don't look at the person next to you. Just focus on your paper. Of course, at the end of the session, let's say for example in the morning session, it ends at 12. So the proctor will say stop writing, or stop shading. So when you hear this, you must quickly drop your pencil. Do not continue to shade, else you will be reported to the CFA Institute. and there's a high chance that your results will be suspended. Now, of course, you're not permitted to leave the session early. This is a change in the rule since last year. So you have to stay until the end of the session. Of course, in the morning it ends at 12. You will have to stay until the proctors have collected all the scripts. They've done the check. Then you can leave. That will probably take about 20 minutes or so, depending on the size of the hole. Of course, in your answer sheet, you can only mark only one answer per question. Okay, if you have, for example, if you mark two answers in a single question, the machine or the Scantron will not be able to detect your answer, then you will get no points for that. So keep that in mind. Then of course, make sure you make heavy black marks that fill the oval completely. Don't shade partially, or don't shade outside the oval. Now, some useful tips to keep in mind. Of course, when you start, I would always advise starting with your stronger topics. Like it could be corporate finance, it could be quantitative methods, it could be portfolio management. Okay, you do not always have to start with ethics. Then, of course, one very important tip as well is to shed your answers on your answer sheet as soon as you have an answer. Try not to leave everything until the end, else you will find that you will be rushing when you shed your answers on your answer sheet, and you may not have time to double check your answers. Of course, if you can't get the answer, don't spend too much time on it. You should skip and immediately do the next question. Okay, each question has an equal weightage. You can always come back to it at later. Now, of course, for some people, they will find that the morning session can be difficult. Okay, of course, some people find the afternoon session difficult. But if you do find the morning session difficult and you feel a bit demotivated, you think that you have failed, don't lose your composure. Okay, maintain your calmness, keep hope, because the afternoon session can still help you to get marks. Of course, lastly, of course, answer all the questions. Don't leave anything blank. Okay, it's your final exam. You want to pass this, so of course, try your best. If you really can't get the answer, you just have to take a calculated guess. Okay, so all the best for your exam this Saturday.